Today on One. Starting a new business is a daunting task, but it's also something you don't have to do alone.
Those guys have been a savior to me.
We'll tell you how one UCF business program can give you a jump start. Then, sci-fi meets our everyday lives. What we once thought we'd only see in the future is impacting everything today, from our health to the way we communicate. Join us for a look at the evolution of the laser. And later, even the little ones get hands-on science experience at UCF's Creative School. See how this nationally accredited early childhood education program gets kids involved. All this and more coming up on today's show. This is One. Hi, and welcome to One. I'm Amy Rogers. Today we showcase an award-winning school for young children located right here on campus. And later on, we'll show you UCF's mechanical engineering students' green go-kart. But we start with a business that's brewing up success, helped in part by a special program at UCF. Bringing new jobs to Central Florida is on the minds of many local business leaders these days. And the UCF Business Incubation program can give entrepreneurs the advice and support they need to grow their businesses. Randy Rausch introduces us to the founder of Orange Blossom Pilsner, whose microbrew is doing so well, his customers are thirsting for more.
This is Orange Blossom Pilsner.
If there's a guy that knows a thing or two about beer, it's Tom Minch. Not only will he pour you one from his portable tap, he wants everyone to enjoy his brew. You see, for the past 30 years, Tom has become something of a beer connoisseur, not just pouring himself a cold one, but creating, producing, and taking to market one of Central Florida's fastest growing brews.
When I was 18, I wasn't old enough to buy beer, but I was old enough to buy the ingredients to make beer. By the time I was 30, it had become a passion, and all I wanted to do was make the best beer in the world.
Making the world's best beer is one thing. Marketing it to consumers is another. Hundreds of craft beers litter store shelves, with brewmasters hoping to tap into the billion-dollar beer business. For Tom and his Orange Blossom Pilsner, the task appeared daunting. That is, until he found UCF's Business Incubator program, a place that helps small businesses move to the next level.
We help companies that have high growth potential reach their growth potential faster by avoiding some of the pitfalls that most companies hit.
Melissa Wasserman saw Tom's dilemma. She crunched the numbers and created a marketing plan to help move his beer on and off store shelves.
Those guys have been a savior to me. I was kind of floundering, not sure what I was going to do and how I was going to get to where I wanted to go. I believe that if you're passionate and it's what you believe in and you want to do the absolute best that you can, then that comes through in the bottle.
And consumers are tasting his beer. Tom sells 1,500 cases a month, and sales at this Orlando store are up 23% from last year.
He is our #1 craft six-pack beer.
So next time you go shopping, you might see a bright yellow mobile beer tap in the parking lot. And the guy serving up samples is likely Tom, a man living out his dream as one of Central Florida's original beer makers.
Tom plans on using the UCF Business Incubation program again to build his own brewery in Orlando next year. If you'd like to learn more about the UCF Business Incubation program, log on to incubator.ucf.edu. It seems like lasers have been around for a long time. We use them in everything from communications technologies to medicine to our entertainment gadgets. Ed Hyland explores the history and many uses of lasers and what we can look forward to in the future.
Decades before it was actually created, the laser was stuff of science fiction, a beam of light with the power to destroy.
That was a ray gun blast. Take her up again, quick!
Today, we know the laser for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation as much more than a destructo beam. It's transforming technology, communications, and medicine. This laser light can see things we can't, like tooth decay.
So Doc, tell us exactly how does the Diagnodent work?
It's a simple laser and it pulses light into your tooth. So we can tell if a stain that we see on the top of the tooth is going down into the inner part of the tooth.
Well, let's go on in.
You look pretty darn good here, so, oh, let's see, there was a little beep there.
Well, time to move on.
Why leave?
But even you, Master Yoda, could not have foreseen what was to come from the laser's humble beginnings.
It consisted of a rod of ruby, like so, surrounded by a flash lamp.
That light now beams through space on research and military missions, courses through the backbone of the internet, scans data from CDs and DVDs, and is zapping the beard hairs on Mark's face. Dr. Diane Cantrell has an arsenal of lasers at her skincare office, each designed to do a little something different to make us look better.
Someday I think we'll have a phone booth you can stand in, press a button, and eliminate the issues with not just pigment and wrinkles, but pre-cancers.
Like apps on a touch panel screen, lasers are written into our lives.
Mr. Powers, you'll notice that all of the sharks have laser beams attached to their heads.
Attaching lasers to sharks or anything else requires next-generation cooling technology. UCF grad Dan Reaney has won multiple patents for his engineering on top of engineering.
Our technology can help to shrink the size of the cooling system so that it's able to fit onto the aircraft or onto the Humvee or whatever they want to put the laser on. On the small end of the scale, we've developed some very unique miniature cooling systems that you can hold in the palm of your hand.
Building the new on the foundation of the old.
I have the phaser, Captain, and I do not intend to simply disappear.
Makes you wonder about the next 50 years of the laser.
UCF alum Dan Reaney's company, Reaney Technologies, continues to collaborate on research with UCF partners within the colleges of engineering, the School of Optics, and the Office of Research. Coming up on One, check out this field trip. UCF's creative school kids help restore Turtle Mound on the Space Coast. But first, here's a look at some upcoming events at UCF and around the area. It's not just story time and coloring for the preschoolers at UCF's Creative School. Known for its award-winning innovative curriculum, the school gives kids a hands-on experience inside and outside the classroom. Chandrea Thomas takes us on one of their field trips to help the environment.
Today we are planting mangrove seedlings on the shoreline at Mosquito Lagoon in the north end of Canaveral National Seashore Park. Our children, who are 4 and 5 years of age, planted them in pots, and we have cared for them all through the winter since August.
It's always an excellent thing when you can have kids involved, because it kind of teaches them the importance of protecting our resources, and it gives them an appreciation. And also it's a way of reaching their parents, because if the kids get excited about something, they pass that on to their parents.
20 years from now, they'll be able to come back and say, we planted those seeds, we helped save Turtle Mound. We've been a child care facility since 1976, so we have a really long and illustrious track record for child development. The National Association for the Education of Young Children, or NACE, is a huge step. There were over 400 standards that we had to meet. They checked everything from hand washing techniques to curriculum in our school to the physical setup. It's a very tough accreditation to get. Being on a university campus really sets us apart. We can offer the children so many rich experiences.
His language has exploded. He's confident, he's learning every day and so excited to go to school, and it's a wonderful social environment as well, where all the kids get along and play and get to learn together.
Only 9% of the nation's centers are accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children. Thanks for joining us. Before we go, we leave you with a look at Mechanical Engineering Senior Design Project, an electric go-kart that's faster and more fuel efficient. See you next time for an all-new edition of One.
We're here today showcasing our senior design projects as part of the mechanical engineering degree. All the students here have worked 2 semesters on their own project, and now they all have booths and they're showcasing their projects and showing what they've accomplished. My name is Van Trong and I'm a senior in mechanical engineering. Me and my group is representing our project, which is regenerative braking and supercapacitor boost on a go-kart platform. Regenerative braking is not anything new to technology, but what makes our system different is our use of supercapacitor boosting. Supercapacitor is kind of a new technology. It pretty much acts as a buffer between the battery and the motor. When you're generating electricity back from the motor, you can capture as much as possible with the capacitors, as opposed to a battery where you're limited to the maximum charge rate of the battery. When we're braking, that regenerative braking is charging these capacitors, and when we hit our button, it just discharges all that energy instantaneously and gives us a power boost. All right, I'm done.